So the next thing I want to talk about a little bit is actually what you're seeing up on the walls here. What you're seeing up on the walls is one of our newest shaders. We call it the multi-layer shader. The guy that's worked on it in the booth here today, Nicholas Schultz. But obviously it's always a team effort at Crytek. So I'm just going to sample the materials up on the wall here. And I'll show you what this actually gives us the ability to do is do some really, really high frequency texture detailing and break up the tiling on any of those surfaces that usually would look really tiled. So I have a blend factor here, and maybe I'll zoom in a little bit closer. So as you see, while I pull down the blend factor, that just sort of fades away. And I could set that anywhere in between on any one of the objects that I want. So it's almost like an aging process that happens here. You know, maybe we turn around, we'll take a look. There's some other areas that have that on it. So I'll increase that there. And again, this is just a really nice way to break up tiling textures and to give you high detailing, high frequency details. You don't just have to do that sort of stuff on walls. We do it on the ground as well. So I'll go ahead and sample that material. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just change the blend factor down and all the way back up. So this is obviously a very inexpensive way of achieving a very, very different look on using the same textures. So we control it through a vertex colors. So if I change the blend fall off, you can actually see that the vertex colors all around would have been black in 3ds or wherever we ended up making it. So this is a really nice shader, and we really like using it, obviously, at Crytek. Now, one of my more personal favorite additions that we've made in the last little while is a new version of our light. Now, I used to show this demo a while ago, and I used to show what we called our wet layer on objects, and you may be familiar with it. Basically what it was, I would select an object, I would tick a box that said wet, and then it would have some sort of procedural wet shader all over it, which was pretty cool. It's a good shader. But we needed a little bit more control with that, so what we actually did was we took this light and we put a post effect on the light so that we can render rain in a deferred fashion. So now you see, within the radius of that light, it's now doing as if we had that wet layer. Now what this gives us the ability to do is I can change this radius just a little bit, and I'm actually going to have an object that's right here. So I'm just going to push this radius up a little bit. Now, there was no way I could achieve that before with the old version of the shader. I couldn't get it half wet and half not. It was either totally soaking or not. The cooler thing about this shader is that it's all in screen space, and it checks the world coordinates of the object. So you see how the water is sort of flowing down on this one? I hope you can see that okay. Looks a little bit weird on the Xbox, but whatever. As I rotate this, we're going to get a very, very different look. So now the rain's falling straight down onto it. Now I know it's a little weird we're putting rain inside, but I did want to show you this light because it is within like the last 2 months. It's a very, very cool feature. So as we change this, that's all going to change in real time. One other improvement to that, if anybody's ever used that wet layer from CryEngine 2 or even early iterations of CryEngine 3, you can never achieve this, having a dry underside. So this was a little bit tricky when you had these rain layers on buildings because you would have this wet stuff right above you, and that really wasn't the way to do things. So this looks a little bit better here.